Recorded Books and One Click Digital present Caroline and the Narrator by Linda Lael Miller. Narrated by Pilar Witherspoon. Prologue. Lincoln, Nebraska, December 9th, 1865. The train whistle gave a piercing shriek. Feeling her 6-year-old sister Lily tremble beside her in the stiff, sooty seat, Caroline slid an arm around the little girl's shoulders. Lily's brown eyes peered at Caroline from beneath straggly, white blonde bangs. Emma, who was 7, sat next to the window, watching the snow-laden frame buildings of the prairie town slip past. Her coppery hair glinted in the thin light of a winter day. Like Lily's, it needed brushing. Caroline despaired of making her sisters and herself presentable. There were no hairbrushes, no changes of clothes. All they had were their worn coats, shoes, and plain dresses, given them by the nuns at St. Mary's in Chicago. The conductor lumbered along the narrow aisle, a big, beefy-looking man without a whit of charity in the whole of his being. "This here's Lincoln, Nebraska," he boomed out. "Got your farmers and storekeepers and blacksmiths." He paused and let his beady gaze sweep over Caroline, Lily, and Emma. "I reckon folks like that will be looking for boys," he finished. Caroline held Lily just a little closer and glared fearlessly up into the conductor's face. His nose was big as a potato, with tiny purple and red veins all over it. "Girls are every bit as good as boys," she said staunchly, calling upon all the aplomb she'd managed to gather in 8 years of living. "And they're a whole lot less trouble, too." "Just get out there and stand on that platform with the others," the big man commanded, as a dozen boys scrambled toward the back of the car. They were all unwanted children, or outright orphans, with little papers bearing numbers pinned to their clothes, hoping to be adopted by one of the families waiting along the line. The train rattled and the metal wheels screeched against the tracks. Puffs of steam billowed past the windows. "Everything will be all right," Caroline said softly, looking from Lily's dark, troubled eyes to Emma's fearful blue ones. She knew the words were probably a lie even as she uttered them, but she had no choice. She was the eldest sister. It was her place to look after Lily and Emma. Fat snowflakes wafted down, nestling in Lily's and Emma's tousled hair as the 3 girls trooped out onto the platform. Standing just behind Lily, Caroline gripped the little girl's narrow shoulders tightly, trying to give her courage. She'd been pleading with God to let the 3 of them stay together ever since Mama had tearfully ushered them onto the orphan train in Chicago, but in her heart, Caroline knew he wasn't going to answer her prayer. Come to that, Caroline couldn't remember the last time God had answered a prayer. Sometimes she wondered why she even bothered talking to him. A huge man with a black beard and a dirty woolen coat stepped onto the platform. His dark eyes narrowed as he surveyed the small crop of orphans lined up for his inspection. Caroline breathed a sigh of relief when he chose 2 boys and left. Maybe, just maybe, she and Lily and Emma would have a little more time together before they were parted. She crossed chilly fingers where they rested on Lily's shoulders. A fat woman in a faded calico dress and an old woolen cloak huffed up the platform steps, stomping snow off her feet as she went. Her cheeks were round and red, but there was no merriment in her gaze. "I'll take you," she said, pointing at Caroline. Caroline swallowed. "No," she pleaded silently. "I can't leave Lily and Emma." She tried one last time. "Please, God, they're little, and they need me so much." Remembering the manners her grandmother had taught her before her death a year before, Caroline curtsied. "Ma'am, if you please," she blurted out. "These are my sisters, Emma and Lily, and they're both good, strong girls, big enough to clean and cook." The dour woman shook her head. "Just you, miss," she said sternly. Caroline couldn't hold back the tears any longer. They brimmed in her eyes and trickled down her cold,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?